The pandemic really brought home to all of us how vulnerable our supply chains are right around the world. And now, with the shutdowns in parts of China, it's really raising questions whether it's even getting worse. Well, our colleague Brendan Murray has taken a close look at this and has presented it in a Bloomberg Big Take, and we welcome him now. So, Brendan, thanks for being with us. How bad is it?
Well, it's looking pretty bad from the people that we talk to, specifically the head of the port of Antwerp in Belgium expects it to be worse than it was last year. Of course, Europe has, an acute response from the war in Ukraine, on top of the issues from China. So what we're looking at is basically the biggest container port in the world, Shanghai, being reduced to something like 30–40% less capacity than it's used to. So trucks are not moving in and out. The unloading and loading of ships is taking a lot more time because of the transportation restrictions. So things aren't grinding to a halt. The port is still open around Shanghai, but it's just slowed things so much. And all of those ships that are, and by our count, there were something like 200 to 250 anchored off the coast of Shanghai waiting to offload or unload. And all of those ships are bound for somewhere in Europe or the U.S. In the next 4 weeks or so, and they're going to be late. And so they're going to be late at their destination, and that just slows the whole supply chain is connected. And when you get a kink in one end, like we're seeing right now, it disrupts the whole thing. And we're heading into the peak season, in the summertime when retailers, manufacturers restock their inventories. And they're looking at things right now going, they can't get what they need out of China on time.
Yeah, it feels a little like deja vu because we had a peak season going into Christmas, as I recall. We were worried about that one for supply chains. Now we got another peak season. But when I get myself into problems, usually I like to know, have I hit bottom yet? Or when will I hit bottom? It sounds, listening to you, we haven't hit bottom. We're not even sure when we're going to, whether it's the Ukraine problem you mentioned first or China.
Yeah, I've been listening and talking to people trying to call a bottom or a peak in peak supply chain disruption for the better part of a year or two now. And the waves of disruption just keep coming. The system has not had time to recalibrate itself, to get caught up. The capacity on ships and planes and trucks is basically non-existent. Everything is running at full capacity right now. So that's why it's more expensive to ship things, and that's why the things that we order, at the click of a mouse won't get to us, as quickly as we want it to. So it seems like we're headed into another summer of disruption, inflationary pressures. We've heard a lot about that lately. Those don't seem to be going away. So China is definitely, we've come full circle. The pandemic started there. Everything ground to a halt in 2020, and now we're looking at a similar situation in 2022.